You say yeet?
I said yeet.
Okay. Like, I've become an old man. I don't understand some of these
You
memes.
like
That 24-year-old boomer.
God damn it, Matt! I was gonna say that.
I am a 24-year-old boomer who doesn't understand memes like yeet.
It's not really a meme.
I'm not going to explain memes. I'm not going to do it.
Isn't that what this podcast is? Or is this Revival, a Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast?
Thank you. Thank you for going into that. I was going to say, you bastards already ruined like 4 minutes of the previous cold open. All I'm saying is, you gotta work harder. I expect to see 5 good cold opens on my desk by Friday.
Good cold opens. Speaking of good cold opens, welcome to Revival, a Dungeons and Dragons real play podcast.
Oh, I was totally expecting a sip right there.
Dude, I wish I had a sip.
Right? I finished mine and I want another. So, when we last left you nerds, Jerry was getting mind probed and you guys were trying to find him. Because he's got some things in his brain that you would rather everybody else not know about.
I think Jerry has some stuff in his brain nobody wants to know about.
Heyo!
That could actually be some good defense, Jerry.
Yeah.
Why don't you take, wait, who's Raphael?
Yeah,
Why don't you take Raphael to, the clubs?
the Jerryverse.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, because Jerry was a fucking dickhead for a while.
I mean,
until he started working with us.
Was?
he's less of a dickhead.
Oh boy. Alright, so we got our initiatives. I don't remember what they were. I hope Dan has them.
First up is Patton.
Oh boy. Yeah, where are we starting here, boys?
Well, where are you starting? Do you guys want to be in hot pursuit using John's last failed ping as a guide point?
Physical? Like we're going to physically drive there? Because I don't think that's going to happen.
I got an idea. So John, and just kind of assuming he's starting now to kind of see where this man, where following the trail, right? This man of tendril thing. So
Yep.
I'm thinking preemptively. So before we teleported using a complete piece of shit Brassmaster 5000. So I'm gonna start work on the Brassmaster 5001,
Ooh.
which will be a much more sophisticated way of
Only marginally improved.
exactly.
Also, considering that the team is split, I'm not going to be using the previous improved skills challenge thing. We're just going back to straight up normal. And you're going to need 12 successes, and you got 5 failures
Wait,
to work
12?
with. Yes.
Holy
It's a
shit.
long skills challenge.
Well,
Wait,
yeah, because it's a big-ass challenge.
okay, but
It is.
what do you mean we're not doing improved rules?
The previous thing where where we were doing the whole making either rolls to assist or not,
Oh, yeah.
because Jeron doesn't have any option because he's split up.
Oh, guess Jerry's fucked then.
Does Jerry have separate failures than we do, or?
He does not.
Oh, that's not good.
Right. So I'm going to actually see if I can use history for. So before, when I had the Brassmaster, it was a quote-unquote instrument by the loosest definition possible. So I'm going to try and make something that's more akin to a, one of those really old trumpets where they're pretty much like the single piece of metal that kind of goes out and flares.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make something closer to that.
Like a herald?
And I want to call on, like a herald's trumpet. And I'm going to try and make something more akin to that. And I want to see if I can roll history for using brass, like how I would mold and shape brass when I was still in the workshop, as opposed to doing this as an Arcana roll.
That is not necessarily that's not really history.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I could spin it.
You
I mean-
you would need to give me some form of actual historical precedent. How does this relate to history?
Yeah, let's see. Besides my own personal history of doing this in the past to assist people and also, seeing other people
Remember, history isn't
who
memory.
have done this.
Yeah, history isn't memory.
Yeah, that's the rough thing.
Have you read books on brass making? Have you read books on smelting?
History of trumpets. Musical instrument history.
Going back to the workshop stuff, I mean, yeah, that's included kind of in that, me doing research into older things.
Here's the thing. The difference between that and what you described is you were talking about just vague personal knowledge, things that you have learned. What I'm asking for is history. So, like, for example, it would not be a history check to, say, lead a cavalry charge because you had experience doing that, right? However, it would be history if you were to, say, reference a specific battle and go, I'm going to use the strategy that General so-and-so implemented at the Battle of whatever and apply that to my current situation.
Okay. So, could I use this as, like, a old book that I was reading, Fats Domino's Guide to Brass Instrumentology, old shit like that I pulled from pre-world, pre-rock human stuff, like the books that I would research while I was in my lab doing that, and look at the specific way that they would use those techniques
to try and build like an old school, like an old school war bugle or like a herald's horn from like
more
medieval human history.
Yeah. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Okay. And watch me roll a 1. That is a 29.
29 is going to be a success. So,
hot dog.
Fucking better be.
So you're going to try to make this as a sort of focus for John?
Yep. To play to herald our coming.
So here's the thing, is that John and Jeron had been doing an amount of work, an amount of research together with specifically instruments and things of that nature to try and replicate what John did. And it didn't really work. They were going down the route of electronic amplification. Like, an electric whatever. But basically what you've made here, just, whipped up real quick, is a solid but effective bardic spell focus. Just the standard fare for what you would need to cast a bardic ritual. Yep, next up is going to be Jeron. So, Jeron, you are going to currently be lashed to this pillar. You're going to see Raphael reach her hand out and wipe off the dust covering one of these paintings. And what does she see behind it?
She sees a big dragon who was preoccupied talking to 4 people that she's kind of familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Then the dragon turns towards her and starts rushing towards her out of the painting. Intimidate.
I'm not entirely sure you're getting what I'm laying down here. These have to be actual memories of yours.
Actual memories, okay.
I'm not asking for a roll from you right now. I'm asking what's the first memory if she just picked one randomly.
Okay, all right. So she's going to go down to a time when Jerry was way down south. Like, say, 3 years ago in Georgia.
Okay.
He was on the tail of another tiefling who was making bets with people. This crazy bardic guy. And word is he had a golden instrument and Jerry wanted some of it. See if he could sell it for something.
You son of a bitch. You're going to make me do this?
No.
You son of
No.
Jerry went down to Georgia.
I'm vetoing this
Fuck
on
you.
pure, like,
okay,
fuck
real
you.
talk. Are you?
It would work though, wouldn't it? No!
So
yes, it works, but no.
It works, and I'll allow it, but at the same time, like, this is an opportunity for you to give yourself more, like, legitimate, fleshed out backstory and motivation and stuff. I would appreciate it if you went, a little bit more, I don't know, not memes.
I was gonna set up like who I was with and stuff.
Okay, so so in a similar scene to how you saw Abaddon's memories, Raphael is going to step down into this dark, lantern-lit street, and is going to see you, and what are you doing?
I'm leaning against a window, or like right next to a window outside of an inn. And there's a sign above the inn that says live music tonight, like open jam, whatever.
Okay.
And I'm with a Minotaur. And this Minotaur is kind of like my mentor in the whole like Vice journalism deal. Because he wanted to like break out of New York and just find adventure and kind of like make his own name as well. His name is going to be Bane. And we're just he's kind of like talking to people outside the inn, trying to figure out who's all playing, who's here.
Okay.
And then we're going to see the tiefling walk in.
Okay, so this is your mark.
Yeah.
Eyes peeled, little buddy. That's our man.
All right. Okay, at this point, should I have Zeph at this point?
Not yet.
Okay. All right, so we just gotta keep our distance. I know you're kind of a big guy, so maybe just watch out for me. I'm gonna try and get in close and see if I can talk to him a bit.
Okay.
Don't
Knock
respond to
yourself
him, Michael.
kid.
I mean, if there's stuff you guys want to say, just say it.
Shut up, Matt.
Shut up, Matt.
Also, you merely adopted West journalism. I was born molded by it.
I did specifically ask for no memes, then you named this dude fucking Bane.
I wasn't even. He's a Minotaur. And we're
Okay,
going inside.
go.
God damn it.
I do appreciate the dedication to improv, but the name choice is suspect.
Yeah, but Daniel, did you not notice that he said he's like a big guy?
Yes,
we all
I
noticed.
did notice.
Everyone noticed.
You're the memers, not me. So I'm gonna go in.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see him play a set, and he's gonna approach, say, we're in the south, right? So we're gonna say he's approaching a drow. And he's gonna be like, hey, just like, I'm gonna kind of try and butt and be like, hey, you're
whoa. Guys, who is this? Why is he speaking to me? To me?
You're Lou, right?
You dare to speak to me, and you do not even know who I am.
Don't mind me, Jeron Attack. I'm with the local news, and we're just trying to promote you.
You may shake his hand. And he motions over to his large bodyguard.
No, you don't understand. We're promotional. Promotional. We're just trying to help you out, man. Try to spread your name.
You are trying to help me out? Again, and he's going to do the whole, motioning towards his whole face in a circle. I'm sure everybody, aside from you, already knows who I am.
I'm gonna kind of look around.
People are kind of looking at you. You're making a little bit of a scene.
Look. We heard that you were placing bets and that you were winning a lot of them. And that's really, really intriguing. And
he is going to hold his hand out, cover your mouth, and just go, I see. Yes. Yes, this is my good friend. It's been so long since I've seen you. Gentlemen, please show my esteemed guest to the back room. As you're going to get grabbed by the shoulders as your Minotaur friend is going to look over you and kind of tilt his head like a, eh? You want my help on this one?
I'm going to give him a thumbs up.
Thumbs up? Okay.
Yep.
So he is going to rush at these guys and just elbow slam this guy into a table. That's what the thumbs up meant, right?
No, kind of meant everything was fine. Oh, jeez. Bane, you can't be doing this every time, man. Now we gotta leave.
Leave? And as everyone pulls out various weapons. But it's just getting fun.
Yeah.
So at seeing this, Raphael is going to look around, look over at you, look down at the shadow and look over at your jacket. He doesn't have it yet. And she's going to go move to leave the room. You're seeing this from a sort of outside observer perspective. So, what do you do? It seems like she's going to try and bail out of this memory. It doesn't seem like there's anything here for her.
Because I feel like just placing a block there wouldn't really do anything.
Remember, this is your mind.
Go to your Shonies.
What?
It's a Rick and Morty reference. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, Michael just made a goddamn Rick and Morty reference.
You
Stop
set it
memeing.
up.
Memeing contempt.
To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ.
To be fair,
listen
it
to
is
Revival.
exactly the setup.
I mean, it's literally, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have Bane call out to her in the memory. Just kinda
Okay,
manipulate
so
it a bit.
bluff.
Yeah, bluff. And do that. Okay, that is a 26.
26. That's going to be a success. So as she's turning around to leave, she's just going to hear, "Oh no, you don't," and flip around, and she's going to see a now like ethereally charged Minotaur doing that same shoulder check that he did to your mark.
Yeah.
As she is going to get just blasted out of the doorway, and also kicked straight out of the memory. And you see one of the chains on you just flutter as she slams her head into the wall behind her, and just stares right over at you with just a look of sheer disbelief on her face.
I'm also gonna have the same look of disbelief as part of this bluff.
Ooh, I like it. So, next up is going to be Elias.
Yeah, that horn, it's not in tune, like, at all. I am going to make a magically charged wyvern bone tuning fork.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So this is going to be nature to basically carve and imbue with, like, the same resonant frequency as this bardic implement, a tuning fork to make sure that this thing is, like, hitting the exact right frequency out of, you know, the like, we'll call it the one of the horns. Like one of the most magical parts of the skeleton. That will be a 22.
A 22?
Yeah.
Not a success.
Fuck. Do we have action
Would you
points?
like to action point?
Yeah,
Yes.
I like this idea a lot. I want it to be good. I'll action point reroll.
Go for it.
That will be a 23.
23? That'll be a success.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Oh my god.
We're trying real hard here, boys.
You missed it by 1.
Yeah, so that'll literally be like carve one. Oh shit! You know, carve it, snaps in half, toss that off to the side. Carve a second one.
Okay, so what you notice as you hit that tune, right?
Yeah.
What you notice immediately is that you can see and feel that little tendril that got blocked. It starts to solidify, and you can actually visibly see it.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna like hit the tuning fork, hit the horn, and sort of like start tapping various parts of the horn and directing Patton to like hammer it out so that the tendril becomes clearer and clearer as we fix place by place the shape of the horn.
Yep. Nice. So, finally, John.
That's me.
So, you got a horn.
Do not
Just,
blow it.
I think that's the opposite of what they want you to do.
Fool. John does as he pleases.
I mean, it ain't done yet, is it?
No, it's well,
It's getting to the point where you're going to need to at least like try it out.
yeah.
I mean, okay.
It is at the point where you would want to preferably actually try it. Unless you have something completely different that you want to do beforehand,
I mean,
which is also an option.
I kind of do,
No, yeah, go for it, dude. If you have something else.
but
don't
also like when the time comes to toot the horn, what? I just got to figure out what I'm going to roll for that as well.
Probably religion.
I only have a 7 in religion.
Maybe.
Somehow.
I mean, you could also do like endurance if you have to.
I've got to figure out how to flavor it as endurance. I'm pretty sure.
Sustaining the note.
John toots eternally.
So the thing is that you've got a lot of leeway for describing how things work, right? So
Okay.
if you want to have this be endurance, it can be. You just have to give me a reason why it would be. And pretty much whatever you give me is reasonable, as long as it isn't just John has weak lungs. It's hard.
I think John has the opposite of weak lung.
Yeah.
Okay.
John smokes 10 packs a day.
No.
Marlboro Reds.
John definitely does not have mesothelioma.
Stop.
Yeah, John's a good boy. He doesn't smoke. He
Of course
just
not.
drinks.
He just
Heavily.
drinks, and that's okay.
He doesn't have a problem.
I was thinking, look back on our final moments with Jerry. Try to see if he...
I like that you describe them as our final moments with Jerry.
I mean... try to see if he gave any tell as to what he was doing, or specifically what was going on.
Okay, so you're going to
And,
try
like-
and, before you do anything, you're going to try and retrace your steps and see if there was anything that you could tell that was off.
Yeah, we can figure out what happened to him before we just go diving into playing trumpets.
Okay, so you want to kind of retrace your steps here.
Yeah, and I was thinking insight, since I was specifically looking at the way he was acting and trying to glean information from that.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense to me.
Oh no. I only rolled an 8 on the die. I didn't succeed. That's fucking 19.
19, yeah, it ain't a success. Would you like to action point that?
It's probably not important enough to action point.
All right.
I mean, we have 5 failures.
Yeah, that's only one.
True.
What?
No, I mean, that's legitimate. If you do not want to spend it, that is fine.
Yeah, I, out of character, don't think that's like an important, like, skills challenge critical role, and then in character, like, I'm not, like, I'm
so
just
you're
trying
to go back and think through if anything was off about Jeron. He was talking a lot about weird stuff, about weird nonsense, talking about getting those ratings up. Then he said something about going to go practice some magic shit, and then he's gone.
Guys, I think the situation's worse than we thought. I think Jerry's gone off and pulled some dumb stunt.
Well, John, I think that's exactly what we thought the situation was.
Well, I didn't think that's what the situation was. Situation's worse than I thought, then.
Right, well, that's not really helpful right now, John. Do you have anything else you might want to, get to work on?
I mean, you guys are kind of doing the trumpet thing.
Yes, well, we sort of
Sip
assumed
whiskey.
you might want to participate, since you know more about teleportation than we do.
You know what? That sounds good. I think I'll try that out on the next round.
God damn
In
it.
about 5 seconds, I will.
So, top of the round. So, first up, you guys are getting to work on that trumpet. It's starting to come along pretty well. Something of note. So, you're going to see... Here, let me... I have to open up a different a different notepad that had more of my notes. One second. Please hold. Please hold. Please understand. So, you're going to hear, Elias, behind you, very loud as you're doing the tuning fork. Dr. Adelholm, Dr. Adelholm.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it clang like as the tuning fork slips off the side. Yes, what? We're in the middle of something here.
We found the security footage.
What? Security footage of?
Wait, do you not know about the security footage?
In regards to?
Maval, I don't think you knew about the security footage.
Oh god, this must be what it's like when I talk.
Mr. Talnay, he has some cameras.
Who?
Set up.
Where?
Him. He's going to point to Jeron Talnay, who's going to give him, just kind of shoot daggers at him. We have footage of the scene of the crime.
Just in time.
Okay, I'm not going to bother asking what you're talking about. Just show me the footage.
He's gonna look, just like have a vacant look on his face, and Serena is gonna just come over to you and give you a little SD card.
I literally don't know what to do with this.
He's going to look at you, look at the SD card, kind of reach his hand out, take it back, hand it to Patton.
Fantastic.
Patton, I assume you know how to use this. I'm not exactly versed in rock technology.
Well, I'm sure I could figure something out here.
So you slot it in right there. You got all manner of gizmos that can play that.
This time on Revival, Patton breaks an SD card.
And what you're going to see is there's a corner camera that is overlooking that little corner that Jeron has set up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gonna chime in. It was funny to watch the things that he says in there.
No, I mean, I don't blame you. I'm gonna lean over to Specky, break the camera in our room.
Specky is going to salute. Meow.
And scurry off.
Yes, skitter, skitter, skitter. You're going to hear a little glass shatter noise. So what you're going to see is Jeron is going to be sitting there. You're going to see his eyes open. He's going to turn and look up at something just outside of camera. It seems to be like just off to the left of where the camera is. His eyes are going to go wide, and then you're going to see him whoop, just teleport out in a big old flash. But right before you do get one, a little flicker of some hair and, clothing and skin.
What do you mean? Like left in the room?
No, the person who's just out of frame.
Oh, okay. So we have like a single frame of the person.
Yeah, just a couple of frames of the culprit.
Okay.
John, do you want to take a look at this? My powers of deduction are not perhaps world-renowned, but I think I can tell where this is going.
Uh-oh. I mean...
That's them. That's them right there. That's the person that got him.
Yes, thank you for this footage. We have...
Do you see him right there? You can see their arm.
Yes.
It looks like my arm.
Did you kidnap Jerry?
Did I kidnap Jerry?
Don't get them worked up.
Brandel is going to just start pacing back and forth and hyperventilating.
Honestly, I expect them to say no. This is a interesting turn of events.
It does look like a halfling.
All right, so with the few frames that we have, I don't know if for my role, because I'm up next, right?
Yes.
All right. Would I be able to use perception to try and pick out any identifying features on the clothing or the hand? Like, is there like a something even as minute as if someone had a gouged nail, like it was broken, if I could look back, play back every time we've encountered, I get like nails, stuff like, you know what I mean.
Here's the thing, though.
Well, you do know it's a halfling now. Like, Brandel just gave that away.
No, that was Mavala.
Mavala.
Here's the thing, though.
Brandel is currently losing his little goddamn mind.
Here's the thing, and I think this is reasonable. It's not that hard to make the honest guess that this is related to Michael.
I know, but I have a really good perception score. We've got to win 15 of these.
12 of
Okay,
these.
so the thing that I would like is think more about what would be the coolest in character and less about what is the most mechanically beneficial.
That's why I was also trying to think of like comparing it between the past, but yeah, I mean, there's really only like maybe 3 halflings we've ever met, so it's pretty easy to narrow it down.
They aren't exactly super common.
Not only that, but teleportation and halfling equals pretty much one person.
Yep.
You know who this is, so maybe there's something else you could do with the footage.
The method of teleportation.
Yeah, because the method of teleportation was just a flash. Was there a flash?
Well, you do
bang
get a
from
visual
them?
on it.
Because
That's the
Jerry
thing, is that
fired
you
the flash
do get
bang.
a visual on it. Would you like to use your perception roll to try and compare that to other instances of teleportation that you've seen
Yes.
from these people? That works.
All right, let's see what I got. That is 18.
Total?
18 total, but let's add that D6 to it.
All right.
That's a big game, boy.
What was it? Was it 23, I think? Because you got a 24 and it worked, and then you got like a 22 and it didn't work or something, right?
I got a 22 and it didn't work, and I got a 23 and it worked.
Okay.
You know the number.
Never mind then.
So would you like to action point?
Yeah, you'd need a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, that's action point. I rolled a 6 on the die, so I hope I get better than that. Okay, I got a 7.
Now would you like to add in that D6? It's a bit better.
I'm at
That's
19.
50-50.
Let's do it. Add in Memory of 1,000 Lifetimes. Big whammies!
4, 5, 6. Oh, nice. Okay.
6? Nice.
Thank God.
Okay.
Literally.
So, this is a fun one. So, what you're going to see here is you're going to be watching this footage, and then you're going to see you're floating. You see in front of you the form of 4 men behind some glass. You see them, and you know what you have to do. You catch the glance of a couple of them, and you give them a knowing look and wave. And right as you see the teleportation footage cut in, you get a sudden jolt of, yep, this is definitely forced teleportation.
Oh, yeah.
And more than that, you also get the distinct and acute realization that you cannot forcibly teleport somebody with this method without some form of legitimate connection between the two entities.
Okay, that's very important.
You have to be bound in some way.
Which makes me wonder how Michael's crew was connecting to us. I guess if we were just on the very, very fringes.
That means
For
he's
Jerry
close.
to get over there. Yeah, maybe physically close or
Physically close.
close enough.
So as you look at it, you see Jeron very clearly goes to attempt to stop time in some way, shape, or form. And then that energy gets stolen. And that temporal momentum gets shifted into movement. So instead of moving through time, he moves through space and he gets dragged. And it does not look like it was comfortable for either party. Just throwing that in there.
Yikes.
So, the other things that you're aware of are that, yes, it does not seem tenable to you for this to be incredibly long range. That seems pretty well out of the scope of reality.
All right. Now, was there any indication of which? Because they went through space. Was there any indication of some kind of direction in general? Was it like and it got like pulled in a direction as he blinked out?
Yeah, you see the little aftershock image of them moving, and it lines up perfectly with that tendril.
Okay.
There's no real way to judge which way they went from that, though. Like, if you're asking for a cardinal...
They followed that path until at least you get blocked.
Mm-hmm.
From there, it could be anywhere. So, next up is... Who's next up? Let me. I gotta get my notes back up.
Yeah, it's me.
Next up is Jeron.
Because he both rolled fucking nat 20s.
Raphael is going to angrily stomp over to you. It is going to rip the chains off of the pillar, grab you by the collar, and is going to throw you into another one of these paintings. And
All right.
in this area, she is ridiculously strong. So, where do you end up?
All right, we are in Pittsburgh. We're outside of a former federal penitentiary, and I am with Casey. And what's the situation is that he and Molly got caught up in debt with some wrong people to fund a repair for their train. And Molly and Bane ended up getting kidnapped. Bane got kidnapped for just general Bane and Jerry shenanigans.
Okay.
And at this point, I'm kind of like getting more adept at magic, but I don't think I should have Zep just yet.
Hang on, actually. I believe, didn't we establish that Casey only knew about you as a result of you saving one of the steel drivers? I believe it was established that you had not met before that.
That's true.
Am I misremembering? Anybody?
I think, like...
I'm pretty sure that was explicitly what... Here, let me check my notes.
Check the wiki.
I think I had saved someone else, so we can just go... I think we can just swap it out for that person then.
Make the wiki someone.
Let me see.
Because I mean, like, he could have.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Just give me a second. I think I have an entire. Yeah, there we go. Shit. I do not. All I have is the character descriptions, and man, is it just full of memes. When I write my notes to myself, I just write bullshit. And it's really not a good idea, honestly. But yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, and I believe that I am, you had not had any previous, like, face-to-face encounters.
Okay, so maybe I just took up the contract and I'm with, like, someone else then. Maybe, like, another buddy who is just, like, an associate that hired on the contract, just a fucking rando. We're not going to name him. He's an elf.
Probably for the best.
And
yeah, there's a steel driver who's in trouble here, and you're going to have to help him out.
Yep.
A call went out, and you're helping him.
Mm-hmm. And Bane's gotten captured for just general shenanigans. And we're right outside a service entry, and I'm like signaling to the elf to give me a boost, and then there's going to be a guard walking by. It's Null, and he's just going to stop and start sniffing around while I'm like on the fence.
So Raphael is just going to grab you and drag you. Is going to look around. Is going to stare directly at you. Is there anything that will be useful to me in this one?
Absolutely. Now, if you could just... Oh, God, your grip. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Come on.
Was the last roll that you made a bluff check?
Yeah. Well, it'll be useful, but I don't know how we're gonna get out of here. It's kind of one of my worst memories.
Worse as in how? Explain now.
Well, you know that guy that knocked you out of the frame and the last memory you hopped in?
Yeah?
He dies here.
And her eyes are going to turn off, and she's just going to turn back and look.
And frankly, I'm not one to be liable for what this memory might turn into once he does die.
So that, to me, sounds a good amount like a diplomacy check.
I was thinking more intimidate.
How is that intimidating?
Yeah, it sounds like endurance or diplomacy to me.
Well, like,
That sounds
shit
like
might go
diplomacy.
wrong now that we're in here, and that might shake her resolve. Oh my god, I'm cold.
Endurance check.
I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that vibe.
Okay, well, if we can do diplomacy, I can do that.
Yeah, that's you phrase that, and this whole thing seems more like a stay here and you'll find out some of the stuff about me.
Yeah. All right,
You know,
so
sort
for
of
that,
sort of prey on her empathy.
yeah, for that I'm gonna do beguiling tongue.
Okay.
Here we go. Shit, action point.
Okay.
All right.
Hold up 1 second. Let me just look at this. You gain a +5 power bonus to your next diplomacy or bluff diplomacy or intimidate. That doesn't stay.
What do you mean?
You aren't going to get the +5 on the reroll.
Oh, fuck! God damn it.
Yeah, it's the next roll, not the next successful roll.
Shit. Okay. Well, here we go. That's a 17.
17 total.
Yep.
Oh no.
So,
Oh no.
Oh no.
on a 17, her eyes are going to light back up, and she's just going to shake her head and go, "No. No, whatever you've seen, it still doesn't justify what you've done. It still doesn't justify what he's done." And she's going to grab you and rip you out of the memory again. Next one. And shove you in another. So, next up is going to be...
It's me.
Yeah. Yep, it is Elias.
All right, so we got this
So
horn.
Patton gets the visual schematic thing going. Do you share your little map or whatever with everybody?
What map? What you talk about?
Like a little,
The thing that I just
you know,
found out.
You guys are all kind of connected with AR and all of that nonsense, so he can kind of plot out the situation in AR.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of overlaid the scene for you.
Let you guys know what I pulled from the footage. All the info that I gathered.
teleportation thing?
Yeah. So you see Jeron, you see incomplete but assumed recreation footage of Raphael, and then you see the teleportation moment and the direction.
Okay, so to me, that means that, well, from what I know then, that if what Patton has told us is correct, that
Of course.
there has to... Okay, let's not get too carried
When
away.
have I ever
When
been
is
wrong?
he ever wrong?
Name 13 times I've been wrong. You have 10 seconds.
Oh shit!
Oh, fuck. The
The
leeches.
past 13
The
episodes.
leeches. The spiders. The driving the
Just do
car.
your thing.
Time's up, I win.
Okay, so from what I saw with Patton, that means that Jerry's room and the way this teleportation works means that caused a rift. It's going to be weak. Like the connection is going to be easier in a place that a connection has been made before. So I'm going to take, all of us three to Jerry's room, and I think here it's magic, so perception doesn't work, right?
Right.
I believe Arcane is available for you.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
hard
he's
to
not good
justify.
at it.
That's not something I would not think to just like try and magically sense where this is. That would be something I would let you do.
Mhm.
And I used nature last time.
So, didn't you retrain out of dungeoneering into something else?
Yeah, I have acrobatics, nature perception, stealth.
Huh.
What?
I can think of a couple of ways you could do stealth.
Stealth? Hiding?
Yeah.
Concealing? Elaborate. I'm not seeing it.
Really?
There's something blocking it if you sneak around the block.
because
But that's
they're
magic.
they're actively putting the block up.
But John's not really using
Connections are
arcane
two-way.
magic.
I mean, yeah, I know that, but that's, to me, that strikes as more magic than stealth, unless you're saying that the realm of
we
stealth...
can
the
I
realm of...
would use stealth as like if we're going now, like we're starting the path down there, you can be like, okay, John, do this, and we're going to try and like sneak around this block and kind of helping it. Like all three of us will be connected as we're going down there, so we can kind of share and like help the other person. Like, okay, because technically it would be John would be the one that's moving us through it, but if all three of us are kind of connected, if you get what I'm saying.
I mean, that makes sense if you're gonna. I wasn't thinking of stealth as anything beyond like literal physical.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that all of the skills can kind of incorporate all of these things, because otherwise any form of magic is going to be arcana always.
Sure.
And we've already established that that isn't the case.
Well, yeah,
Right.
but
So if you're attempting to specifically figure out a way to investigate this connection and tap into the connection physically, because you are trying to physically move through it without the party on the other end noticing, yeah, that'd count as stealth.
okay. So then, if we're gonna do stealth like that, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Specky, put a lot of strands on all three of us as John is getting ready to use the horn, and what I'm gonna have him do is, how you do like breathing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have him basically, we're all going to sync up magically so that the mana that we're putting out, because John normally doesn't put out very much, Pat normally puts out a lot, and I put out a decent amount just because of how we work as biological beings. So I'm going to have Specky sort of act as a battery and even out the charge. So instead of like 3 separate entities trying to go through, it'll be like one big one.
So a Specky VPN.
Yeah, Specky VPN. He's gonna mask.
That sounds like stealth to me.
He's gonna mask our IP address.
That sounds like stealth to me.
Nice.
That is 24.
24. That's a success.
So I got a 12 in stealth, and I rolled a 12.
Okay. So, next up is Tim, and you have a couple of options here.
How many successes is that?
That is 5 successes so
And
far.
2 failures.
Yes. So you're on the right track. So you have a couple of options here. We can either assume that you are currently, transporting them in some way, or that can be the role that you do now.
Yeah, because we
Or
have to
something
get him
along those
back,
lines.
too.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if this will work very well if I fuck up teleporting us. Like,
All right. So do you want to assume that you guys are currently transporting?
I'd like to.
Okay, that works. So, describe how you use this horn.
I'm gonna, as I'm looking over the horn, I'm gonna say, and even things without life give sound, or whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds. Except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harped? For if the trumpet gives an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to battle? And then I'm going to give a quick, that classic cavalry charge piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm probably going to start
Yeah.
playing Swing Low, because that seems to be the
Okay.
teleporting song.
Hell yes. So you hear the notes ring out, and this thing should not be able to generate like different notes, really. Like there's no, it doesn't have any of those whatever you call them on trumpets. I
Doesn't
don't
have
actually know what they're called on
any
trumpets.
nozzles or valves.
Keys. Yeah. But as he's blowing into it, you hear a beautiful rendition. Very somber. And John, the second you start to blow on that, you can't stop. Like, it's like the air is getting sucked out of your lungs.
And so this would be an endurance check to complete the teleporting and not like leave us stranded halfway in limbo?
Potentially. Basically, the current situation is your breath is being sucked out of your lungs. The rest of you guys, what you're going to see is reality around you is starting to distort, right? You're seeing sort of images of places overlaid on top of your current reality. You're getting a lot of double vision. And you can see sort of outlines of yourselves and your own bodies, and you get the immediate, distinct realization that you need to match where those things are. But you're jittering around and everything's moving erratically.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that makes the most sense in this situation. I want to try and get me and all of my friends through this teleporting safely.
All right. Makes sense to me. Roll it.
23. I rolled a 12. Wow, that's lucky.
Nice. That's a success.
Okay, good. I couldn't remember if it was 23 or 24.
So, you managed to get a sort of cyclical breathing thing going, and you feel like you're on the verge of passing out as the final note comes through, and you guys find yourself in a field.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
So you get you can see the end of this tether, right? The little tendril. You see it vibrate along with that tuning fork in your hand, and then it just shatters.
Is it the tuning fork?
The tendril and the tuning fork. However, you get the feeling that Jerry is close physically.
Oh, so it's kind of like one of those creepy stalker vibes, right? Like when someone's watching you.
Yeah.
What's our mana situation out here?
The mana situation? Decent.
Okay.
Jeez.
Not great, but decent.
I was worried they were like keeping him in a dead zone in order to assist in like cutting him off. But hey, that's good news.
Yep. Fortunately, it is not that. So, top of the round. You guys are in the midst of a field. It's mid-afternoon. At this point, you're in a, let's say like a wild wheat field. It's about chest/neck high, and it's swaying in the breeze. Fairly flat plains, you can see some mountains in the distance, and everything is pretty quiet. A pretty far cry from your previous location. You do get the sense that you went pretty far.
We kind of didn't tell anybody that we were leaving.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's an emergency.
We probably should have.
It's an emergency.
I'm going to real quick bring out Lil Bro and bring him real high up in the air and see if I could see really, really far off on the horizon. If I could see the truck, or if we're completely like real far out there. See if there's any.
You're real far out there.
Okay.
Truck is nowhere near.
Is there
Can you even
anything
see
that
it?
doesn't look natural?
Anything that doesn't look natural. Well, considering that it's your turn, you might want to put that into a roll of some kind.
Okay, yeah. Fortunately, I used perception.
Yep.
Okay then. So, Jerry didn't have access to his mana at all, right? Just the ambient mana that was kind of around him?
Yeah, he's been cut off.
Okay.
Like at every bar he's ever gone to.
Yeah.
Because I was going to see if I could use Arcana to sense if there's any change or shift in the ambient mana in our surroundings around us, Because if we teleported over here, then we must be closer to Michael. I want to see if there's any shift, if there's any area that is particularly light or particularly dense in its mana concentration.
Okay.
All right, then.
Go for it.
That is a 20 in total.
20 in total? Boy, howdy.
We're rolling real
Womp
close
womp.
to the fucking...
Yup. So, no. The main thing being you flick through your settings and all of that, you don't really have a good, easy way to judge mana density, like, objectively. You can get sort of vague senses and feels for areas that you're in, but outside of physically going to places, you can't really get a complete grasp on it, so you do end up wasting a good chunk of time walking around and playing like a hotter, colder, hotter, colder.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of end up walking in a circle.
That's not good.
So, next up, Jeron. You're on your back, and where are you this time? And, you know, considering that it's getting closer to the thing, this one's a bit more important.
We are in the Displacer Beast Mind Flayer encounter.
Ah! Some good information.
Yep. And we're at the portion where we were just chasing after John, who had gone nuts over these illusions. And we're going to start a freeze frame right at the moment Jerry saw the human.
Yep, that's
Okay.
me.
But you're wondering how I got in this crazy situation.
So, her eyes are going to, you know, break away from the white. It's going to go back to normal. She's going to look over at you. Look over at that. She's going to see that it's like floating and kind of ethereal. You've lost your mind.
No. Well, actually, fair. 'Cause this place is crazy. But the rest of them saw this person too. They've talked about her. We're not all insane. I think John's got his head about him. Well, not here, of course. Anyway. I believe this is your culprit. You want to know why he couldn't teleport? Whenever we look at this person, our mana gets shook. There's just these violent vibrations inside my mind that make my mana feel cut off.
Out of character, that's not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, I know.
Ah, this is a bluff?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure. We've had a couple of instances here.
Yeah, I know.
In
I'm
this
freestyling
session.
here.
Okay, give me a bluff check then.
All right. That's great. That's literally the highest it can be. It's not at 20. So that's a success at 36.
Nice. So, she's going to look at it. She's going to look at you. Look back at the vision. This changes a lot of things. But it doesn't explain everything. And it doesn't explain enough.
Well, follow me to the next one. Please don't throw me into the next one.
Throw.
Gah. Okay.
As she's going to jump in after you and do the full-on superhero landing.
And I already know where I wanted to go next.
Yep. So, next up is Elias.
Okay, that's me. So we're in the middle of the field, right?
Yes.
Nature. I need to know if this is a real field or if we're in some sort of bullshit dimension.
That's a good idea.
Because this is teleporting and it's all bullshit. Elias literally rolls to detect bullshit.
All right, I'm down with it.
Like, I don't have to describe how I'm going to do this, looking at wheat grains and stuff like that. That will be a 25.
25.
Yep.
That'll be a success. So, what you see is you look down at your hands, you see them, overlaid with that double vision.
Yeah.
Right? But you quickly shift your hand into the spot it's supposed to be in. Everything solidifies. You breathe. Specky taps you on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is all real.
Oh, so we're actually out in the field.
You are actually out in the field.
All right, I'm gonna quickly scan and.
Your teleportation got stopped. Like, this is as far as you go.
All right, I'm gonna scan for that tendril and see if I can see it physically, like lingering in the air at all.
You can't see it physically lingering in the air at all, but you do see some footsteps.
All right, I'm gonna point those out, and let's get following them.
Let's get following these footsteps.
All right. So next up, John.
How many sets of footsteps?
So you're
They
going
could
to
be
see...
single file to hide their numbers.
Yes.
Shut up.
You figure that out very, very quickly. Also, but the thing that they can't really hide is there's huge, huge Goliath footsteps. There's a pair of what very clearly look like elven. There's a halfling sized, and then you see the occasional drag. Like a little mark of somebody being dragged. But it's, sporadic.
Right.
Well, all right. I suppose this is trail we want to follow.
So, you guys follow the trail, and eventually, off in a clearing, you get out of this field, follow the tracks, you end up in some woods, and off in the distance in a clearing, you see a van and the entrance to a cave.
Jerry got banned.
All right. And how far away is that?
A couple 100 meters.
Okay. And I don't see anyone else in the area?
Not currently.
Okay. Can I walk up to the mouth of the cave?
Sure.
Punch
Okay.
it.
I mean, I'm going to shout. If everyone else is cool with that.
I don't think anybody can stop you.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure none of you want to, try sneaking into the cave.
Well, is that something John is asking, or is John just going to walk up and do it?
John's asking.
Well, John...
Sorry, I was supposed to be more in character.
Right.
Well,
John, I think...
Yeah, please roll back and do a little bit more. So, you see a
Sure.
cave.
Yeah.
You see the van. You recognize it as the van that Michael and his crew use.
And y'all got a problem if I shout into the cave?
Yes, John, I think that's probably a bad idea.
Here, John, I got an idea. All right, so I want to go over
Specky
and
is going to
cut the brakes on the
there
van.
you go.
Okay.
You dick.
All right.
But anyway, as you're doing this, Specky is gonna go meow meow and is gonna make a little circle attached to a little fungus rope.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in front of him. He's gonna walk on top of it and then close it. Meow.
All right. I like where this is going.
And he's gonna point at the rope closed around his own paw.
I don't get it.
It's a trap.
Use your
It's
words,
trap.
Specky. Patton is... I want to cut the brakes on this car.
Okay.
Well, okay. First of all,
That is legitimate.
is the
How are you
keys in
going
the
to
car?
do that? That assumes that you get close enough to do that
Yeah.
without anybody noticing.
Okay.
I'm assuming they don't want us to go into the cave. So I was going to shout in an attempt to draw Michael or whoever out of the cave.
Because here's what I'm thinking. So the ways we could draw them out. If I do break their car window, will there be an alarm?
Presumably.
I want to fuck this car up. I hate this stupid church van.
Okay. So how are you
Okay.
going to do that? Presumably just walking up to it is probably a bad idea as far as not
Don't you have a
being
gun?
detected go.
Well, I have a gun, but so there's the mouth of the cave and then the car, and are there any other kind of features, or is it just kind of like a smaller opening? Like an opening in the field here.
It's a small opening. If you specifically look at it, you can see that it has some stairs going down.
Mhm.
Like some man-made stairs. And you can also see some amount of wiring coming from the van.
What if you hotwired the van and had it drive into the cave?
I don't think you can do that.
The mouth isn't wide enough, unfortunately.
Oh,
So I want to get it over you and see if this trap that they're laying is connected to this van or just to us, like if we stumbled on into the cave there. So I want to send little bro out there and have him scout it out.
Okay, using.
Oh shit, that's right.
Would that be perception?
I just used. Oh no, I used nature.
Wait a second. It's Tim's turn.
It is,
What
yes.
the hell am I even talking about? Yeah, sorry, my bad. For some reason, I thought he already rolled.
I wanted to, but apparently Elias thinks it's a bad idea to just walk right up to the guys who are trying to trap us.
I
So,
appreciate
yeah.
the idea, but we'll check our other options before we do that. I'm
Yeah,
100% behind it, though.
The ball is in John's court. My bad, dude. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm still thinking, because, like, that was my idea, was to draw them out and away from the area they wanted us to get into. So maybe
Well, I just
I
think
could...
shouting into the cave was a bad idea.
You could just, like, take a rock and throw it at a car window. I don't know why I'm so fixated on this stupid van.
I don't know. It's probably where the trap
I mean,
is. All at the same.
you could do that. I mean, you have many options.
Like, no, I'm going to incorporate ruining this van for Patton. I don't know why you're so fixated on this van, but I'm sure I could work something out as I pick up a fairly large rock.
All right, so are you just gonna like try and make the longest shot?
Uh,
I'm gonna get kind of close, but not like close. And I'm gonna chuck the rock at the van, and I'm gonna start shouting, "Michael, I know you're in there. You come on out here. I got words for you." And I'm going to try and intimidate them into, if not coming out to confront me, at least being less organized in their springing of the trap.
Okay, makes sense to me.
Yeah, 25.
25. That's a
heck
success.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Pardon my language.
So that'll do it. What window would you like to break?
Which way is the van facing when I walk up to it?
So currently the van it's facing crap. What's the term? It is perpendicular to you.
Okay.
So, like, the driver's
The
side
back-
is
The back window.
Yeah, the driver's side window is
Horizontal.
is clearly visible.
to you.
Yeah.
Okay. The back window on that side.
Okay. So the passenger side or the driver's side rear window?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, this isn't really that important.
I disagree. It's clearly very important.
All right. So you break that, the car alarm goes off full swing, and you see just a red light start to flash from inside the cave. As immediately, instantaneously, you guys are going to just see a flash of just a blur, and John and something go crashing through a tree.
Cool.
God damn.
As John just got tackled through a tree.
Well, I'm glad I didn't break that window.
Full on, chewit, boom.
This is the best outcome.
So Patton was getting ready to like fucking break this car. John throws a rock and immediately gets slammed through a tree, going right past Patton's face. And Patton's just like, ooh.
Well, I'm glad it was me, because I'm a lot tougher than Patton.
No, yeah, so,
I got hollow
top of
bones.
the round. You guys are going to see now John fully braced and prepared. How would you like to block a scythe hit coming straight for your neck?
Me?
Yeah.
Shotgun.
I'm going to like put up my left arm in an attempt to stop the blade, and also shoot the dude's hand with my pistol in an attempt to
All right,
stop him
sick.
from swinging at me.
So you're going to do all of that. The blade is going to flick back to block the shot, and you're going to see him sort of flourish the scythe as Azrael just smiles at you.
You got some fancy moves there, boy.
I knew that wouldn't work on you. He's gonna look at you. Just say, were you part of it?
Was that part of what now?
Killing my friend.
Were you part of setting steel drivers on fire?
He's just going to say, I'll take that as a yes. And you're going to see John and Azrael sort of shoot off into the woods trading blows. Azrael going on the hard offensive here.
Shoot off into the woods. Are we an anime fighter now?
Kind of.
I mean, he is pretty fucking magical.
It's more like he's pushing you.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to isolate Patton and Elias.
Mm-hmm. So, next up, Patton.
All right, so how badly is John getting cut up right now from this skiffy?
He's holding his own very well.
Okay. That's right, because he's got, like, the bracers and stuff now, so he's not getting, raw scythe on raw flesh.
Yeah, they're trading blows back and forth, but neither of them can really get a good hit on each other. And it does look like Azrael is not specifically going for the kill.
Okay. Now, are they still in, like, a clear line of sight?
Kind of. Not for long. However, more pressingly, out of the front of the cave, you're going to see Michael dash out with a blade in his hand, just a long, like, hunting knife. His hair is kind of messed up a little bit. Looks like he was in the middle of a haircut. He's going to grab the offending part of it and cut the rest of it off real quick. Look around. Lock eyes with Patton. And just look up to the sky. Close his eyes. Thank you, Lord, for the wisdom of my friends. Looks like today's my lucky day.
Patton's eyes are gonna flash, and they're gonna turn to the angry eyes.
Angry eyes.
And this is still a skill challenge right now?
Yup.
All right. Which skill is shooting a gun?
Shooting a gun.
You're gonna pull out the gun that you've been saving?
No, I'm just goofing. Just revival humor.
I mean, it is legitimate. You could just try to pull out a gun.
I could.
I would assume that aiming that would be perception if you haven't... What was your last roll? Arcana?
Yes. Yeah, it was Arcana.
It was Arcana. Aiming a gun is perception.
Okay, so...
If you actually wanted to do that, of course you're free to do whatever.
Yeah. Alright, so Patton's got his angry eyes on. He's not right. He's a little fed up with this.
Remember, we're probably not looking to do this is not a good place to try and do this, like, actual out-and-out battle. We want to rescue Jerry and get the fuck out of here.
Alright, so, what I want to do here...
Yeah, they've got very much home field advantage right now.
So I've got Lil Bro, because I didn't send him out to the car. John just kind of threw a rock. Mm-hmm. I want to try and sneak Lil Bro behind, because I'm capturing Michael's attention. I am going to try and sneak Lil Bro behind him into the cave to see if I can find where Jerry is.
Ooh, I like it.
So that's what I want to tie my perception roll into, which is having Lil Bro go behind him while I start unloading shots from the crossbow at Michael.
That sort of multitasking sounds like perception to me.
All right.
Also, of note, the thing that Patton immediately notices, with the top of the round stuff, is, one, Azrael should not necessarily be able to move that fast or be that strong, and neither should John.
Oh,
Mana feels pretty weak for you guys. Like, for you, it doesn't feel great. But they're going full-on DBZ over there.
They got the power of God coursing through them.
Yeah, kind of.
All right.
It's like this is home field. It's very clearly some sort of home turf.
It's like if they were fighting in like an abandoned megachurch or something like that. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a 29 on the perception.
29 on perception. Boy, howdy, that sounds good to me.
Yep, I'm going for Michael's toesies, so he's got to keep moving.
Yeah, so on that, you're going to be able to get Lil Bro past Michael. You're going to go down the cave, and Lil Bro is going to start, doing a little radial mapping with some sonar and also with the cameras. You're going to see a couple of hallways that lead down to different sub-hallways, people's rooms, and then eventually you do see a large main meeting room style place where you see everything is currently dark as a result of the panic lights. Like, all the lights get cut, but you can make out somebody strapped to a chair that is pretty clearly Jeron, and a halfling with her hand over his face. And you also see a dragonborn woman rush past little bro and not even notice it, and she is sprinting towards the mouth of the cave.
All right. So there's Jeron and then just the one other person in his room now?
Yes.
And that other person, do they look like they're preoccupied, right?
Yes.
All right.
They look like they are not even aware of their surroundings.
Okay. All right, that's good. I don't know if I'll be able to do anything further if we're going to go to Jeron's turn for now.
You won't right now, but you can give everybody a map, basically. Like an overlay.
Sweet.
Like before, so they can get a 3D visualization of that underground area with the relevant markers for people. So,
looking like a freaking Metroid Prime map.
So next up, Jeron. And
All right.
ordinarily, I would just say go for it, but considering this is right at the end of the skills challenge, I think we both know where we are.
Wait, how many successes do we have?
10.
Wait, we have 10? Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've been surprisingly successful.
You have 2 failures left. So, you're going to be on your back in the middle of a field of these, what did we call them? Burn thistles?
Yes.
Firebriars?
Firebriar.
Firebriars?
Yeah.
Firebriar.
Retcon to Firebriar.
Firebriar. Pile of firebriars, and you see, you guys all, like, fighting a wyvern right now.
Mm-hmm.
And off in the distance, in the tree line, illuminated, you can see Abaddon watching. And upon seeing this, again, her eyes are going to stop glowing and she's just going to start breaking down crying.
Was this when you lost him?
Not yet. I told him not to go.
Why did he go against your word?
He said it was too important.
Well, we know who the culprit is, so we might as well look for it, don't you say?
You're gonna stay right here. And you're gonna watch what you did.
Well, you see how big that wyvern is? And
You are
considering...
going to stay here, and you are going to watch what you did.
You're going to follow me, or this wyvern's coming straight for you, lady. You're in my mind. Remember how Bane knocked you out of the first picture? That was me. I can do it again.
Do you want to have a mind to go back to when we're done here? Try me.
I got a good feeling I've already won. Intimidate?
You're going to try and intimidate her?
Yeah. Here goes.
What exactly are you saying to intimidate her?
Yeah.
That I can command the wyvern, and essentially, by extension, the entire memory onto her,
I feel
since
like-
I'm in now.
I feel like they're both staring each other down, trying to get the other one to look away first.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you straight up, if that's your plan, the DC is going to be harder because it's not actually, like, necessarily reasonable. There's no real threat of physical danger to her here. Threatening her with the memory wyvern turning on her is, like, at worst she gets shunted out of the memory. Right?
Could I, threaten her with being trapped to see Abaddon's death eternally?
Now, there's a threat.
That's some fucked up shit, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Jerry's great.
What? Okay, for anybody who's read Worm, that's some fucking Grey Boy shit.
Yes, it is.
Well, considering Abaddon stabbed me, I mean...
Yeah, this is a reasonable retaliation. I got stabbed once, now watch your friend die forever.
Well, she also kidnapped me and put everyone in danger. And put our entire operation in
Jerry,
danger.
you're
so
not
you know.
making us look good.
Are we the baddies?
Jerry is the baddies.
At least Jerry is.
Jerry's...
Alright, so... Let's roll it back.
So, please, actually do this for me.
Well, Raphael, you seem to be very, very affected by this particular memory, and considering you don't really know how my mind works, I feel like I can just leave you here to watch this for, let's say, the rest of your days. How's that sound? So you're either going to follow me, or you're going to watch him die over and over and over. And while I'm doing this, I'm kind of doing my, like, time thing. So I'm rewinding myself and doing it.
You're rewinding the memory
And the
a bit.
next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Just to, like, kind of emphasize that, yeah, I can actually do this.
Okay, that gives the threat some legitimacy.
Way to be a fucking psychopath, Jerry.
So, she's going to turn to you. Doing that to me would mean doing it to you, too. You would really do that to yourself just to spite me?
Well, considering I'm trapped in here, I really don't think I have any other options. So, you're either going to follow me, or,
I'm sorry I ever gave you the benefit of the doubt. No matter what happened to you, no matter who hurt you, there's nothing I could see, and nothing I have seen in any of your memories that makes any of this okay. That makes any of you okay.
Well, Raphael, I'm going to let you in on a secret. At the end of this, there won't be any of you left.
Can we be the good people, please?
No.
Roll it.
All right, here we go. Yep.
One.
Yep, that's a 36.
36.
Stay alive.
Yeah.
We got skulls on our caps.
Yes, well, John's skulls are actually have very interesting biological significance.
So, on that, she's just going to lower her arms. I want revenge more than anything in the world right now. I want to see the look on your face when you feel the same amount of pain you've caused come back to you. But I can't get it here. I can't get it here.
So like, on this, am I going to, like, be able to lead her and just, like, place an illusion of the human there? Or are we just going to just say, yeah, we killed him, fuck you, whatever?
I mean, Christ, Jerry, what do you want to do? Stab her?
No. I just want to, like, get out of my head.
Yeah, then you can just do that.
You could leave.
Oh, yeah, I'll just leave.
So, on that note, you're going to wake up. You're tied to a chair. Raphael is going to be in front of you. You see a flashing red light behind you. Everything is illuminated. You're still tied up. And she's going to turn around, notice the sirens, and kind of go wide-eyed. Your friends came here to save you.
Yeah. Kind of took too long in there, didn't you?
They came here to save you. All of you are beyond redemption.
Blah, blah, blah. Go up there and fight him, whatever.
I tried to hold them off, but now I see there's no reason to. You're all going to burn. She's just going to turn around and run up the stairs, leaving you tied up.
You got little bro kind of peeking in from the hallway.
How many successes is that? We got one more, right?
Yeah, you're on 11 here.
Okay.
So,
Can
next
I have
up
bro
is
just untie me real quick?
Elias. Yeah, definitely.
It's my turn, right?
So, yes.
All right, I got something for this. Wait, why does it come down to me for the final one again?
I don't know.
All right.
Surprisingly competent. It's alive.
I got something for this, I think. What did I use last time? Nature?
Yes, nature.
Okay.
You have 2 failures to work with.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of want to end it here. So, Jerry has started moving up the cave, correct?
Yep.
Presumably.
Little bro in tow.
Between them, though, you're going to see a blue dragonborn woman come up the stairs. look around frantically, and then just rush past Michael, who's been dodging shots and steadily advancing towards Patton.
Now you're gonna have to work with me here, because I think I have a cool idea, but I'm gonna have to ask if it's reasonable or not.
Yeah. So first up, though, she's going to take several of these bolts, just take them straight to the chest, and just plow right through and shoulder check Patton.
Oof. My hollow bones.
Absolute disregard for personal safety.
That was
All right.
rude.
So I have two ideas, and you'll have to confirm one of them. And one of them involves, I don't think it's really a retcon, but I think it's reasonable. Because
Okay, you're making me nervous.
because to teleport through, and as part of my stealth check, I had Specky link us all up. Presumably, we are still all linked up.
Yes,
I think that's reasonable for the three of us, not the four with Jared.
Yes.
The question here is, what I want to do in basically one roll is either consider that I can get to Jerry and basically link him to us and use stealth. No, I did not just use stealth. I used nature last time.
Okay.
Because what I want to do is basically recreate what I did to get through the network.
So attempt to also get through the fray as so to give you the scene, your Elias vision of heightened, you're hyper aware. So you see sparks and bullets and clanging of metal with John and Azrael. You see Patton in the midst of being bowled over by a just crazed Dragonborn who just is frothing at the mouth with pure rage. And then Michael, who has drawn his knife and flipped it around and is in the middle of, he's holding out his hand and starting to cast something.
Yeah.
Also, again, this one is going to be aimed at John and or Azrael. You can't really tell. Nobody's got eyes on you.
Exactly. I'm going unnoticed here. So the idea here is that if you let me do 2 rolls, possibly to end it, I'm saying, because otherwise you've put me in a position where I have the roll to end the skills challenge, but we're not really in a position to end the skills challenge.
That's true.
Just in terms of the way the numbers shook out.
Right. In the way the numbers shook out, basically, if this next roll is a success, it is assumed that the rest of the actions that you guys would take have been successful.
Okay, well, then let me describe what my thought process is, and we'll see if that's a reasonable conclusion. What I want to do is, Elias has just had a bit of a fucking epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
In that we're working with this deity thing that John is talking about to me now is not some sort of weird thing that I don't understand. It's just another network. And we just went through it. So if I can use stealth to attach Jerry, what I would do is I would immediately have Specky do that the synchronized mana output concept and commune with nature on the tendril and just pull us right back through, brute force style.
I would allow it if you wanted to. So you can do this if you phrase it a bit differently.
Okay.
Namely, you aren't going to be communing with nature to get through this. However, you could attempt to. There are still after effects of your teleportation.
Yes.
Right? There's still an after effect, and teleportation is not exactly stable. It's kind of like opening a hole in a boat.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Or like you're letting water back in and out and all of that. But once you reach an equilibrium, you still got a hole.
I want to go back through the tear.
Yeah. If you wanted to, instead of syncing up Jeron with you guys, desync all of you
Oh, so you're saying that we're only here sort of temporarily anyway.
Well, it's that there's multiple possibilities. Is the situation that you're in. You're not solidified in any one spot currently.
All right, we're still kind of shaky. Okay, so then what I'll
still a little shaky.
What I'll do then is I'll use stealth and slide by, and if Jeron is right at the mouth of the cave, what I'm going to attempt to do is touch Jeron, turn to Specky, and basically give everybody like a tug and charge it with whatever mana Specky's got left, and I'm going to put Specky's tendrils right onto Jerry's coat so that we can try and, jumper cable his coat through the rift. So he can, because that's kind of like magnet style, it's like the polarity. His coat is looking to get back in connection anyway.
Yeah. And that is the thing, is that you all are, there's ambient mana, but you're not getting any of your feed.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to basically use my natural, it's basically wild step, essentially. I'm going to move through this cornfield, through this wheat field as if I wasn't even there. Not a sound.
Yeah.
That will be 23 on the nose.
Hell yeah. So,
we were really fucking close a whole bunch of times.
Yes.
So,
that could have
this
gone
is all
so
going
wrong.
to happen in slow motion for you as you're hyper aware.
And this is basically Elias takes like 1 second to center himself, looks at every person here's like line of sight, and just starts slowly shifting and walking, dropping low, sliding in between stalks of wheat as the wind subtly blows. And right as I get to Jerry, put one hand on him, put one hand on the specky tendrils that have been, spooling out, give him a tug, and basically, give the nod to Jerry to link to that back to the tendril.
Yeah, so Specky is going to charge up, just like pump a bunch of mana, and Jeron, you're going to see Elias impossibly fast, just zoop, come right up to you, grab you. Specky is gonna shoot a tendril straight onto your chest, and you're gonna see a the energy start to get sucked into that tendril from Specky.
And then I'm going,
as Specky looks up at you and tilts its head.
And then I'm going to yell,
meow, meow, meow.
Don't worry, Specky. And then I'm going to yell, now, very loudly.
And Specky is going to pump a bunch of mana into it. Jeron, what do you do here?
My eyes are going wide. I kind of feel like I know what he's trying to do here, so I'm just going to kind of assist him with slowing time down efficiently now that I know how to do it.
Yeah. So, everything goes slow for you guys as you see first John start to separate from himself.
Ew.
As you see those the shaky little buzzing around you starts to separate out from itself. The scythe goes right through your arm where it was. And at that point, John realizes that he's no longer really here. You see the other self of you get one of its arms cut off. He hooks the scythe around your neck and pulls. And that doesn't feel nice. But you're not there anymore. And then the same thing happens for Patton as you feel a dagger just go straight through your chest. And then you're standing, 2 feet away. And you see that ethereal version of yourself just kind of explode almost. As it gets overloaded with mana.
I'm going to give Azrael a quick little shrug. And then presumably fuck off to the ether.
Yeah. You absolutely fuck off to the ether as you find yourselves in a heap back in the truck with one noticeable difference, which is you see the ethereal buzzing form of Michael standing in front of you guys. He still has the knife in his hand. I still didn't get any answers from y'all. But I want you to know one thing.
I reach over to the powder, the disenchanting powder, and I toss it in his face.
Yeah. So, the last thing that he gets off before the powder comes out.
I'm not taking any chances with this magic bullshit.
Pocket sand. Taking a chip off the old patent block.
Patton looks over at Elias, nods like, yeah.
His LED eyes flicker to the approving eyes. Good job.
Oh, it's just going to say, we're done playing along. And it's going to dissipate.
Because I also want to close that
dust.
fucking time portal thing. And I feel like the powder would be good for that.
Yes, it does work immediately. But it also does a very good job of sucking up a ton of the ambient mana in the truck.
I mean, that's okay.
It's very uncomfortable.
Specky can go to battery pack mode. I'll be fine.
We did it,
Specky
guys.
Roombas a bunch
We
of it
saved Jerry.
So, Specky is going to Roomba up a bunch of that and is then just going to go over to Jerry, just trot on up. Is going to extendo legs to be right at face level.
Hey, little buddy.
And is going to reach up a hand and then just smack. Smack, 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 smack.
Ow, ow, ow!
Smack, 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 smack.
Ow.
And it's just going to keep doing that for like 30 seconds.
I'll stop him eventually.
Meow.
No, yeah, that's, maybe one more.
Smack.
Okay, that's good.
Glad to have you back, Jerry.
You're welcome, by the way.
Lord, he
Shut up,
makes
Jerry.
it hard sometimes.
Specky is going to look back at Elias with just a pleading look.
I'm just gonna shrug like, I'm gonna have Specky hop up onto my shoulder, gonna pat Jerry on the shoulder kind of hard, and exit stage right.
So you're going to then see so next up you're going to see a beneath Jeron's feet is a makeshift summoning portal with summoning portal spelled wrong. And Brandel has some chalk. And he's going to look up.
It worked.
I am the greatest wizard to ever live.
Yes, Brandel, if you're going to be doing that, I'll have you know that all experiments have to be repeatable. So go ahead and try that about 10 more times and record your process.
Can do.
Is this the guy that thought he might have kidnapped Jerry?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to tell him, you're only a neutral wizard. I mean, you only undid what you did in the first place.
Oh no, he's right.
Anyway, I got them off our trail, so...
You also got him on our trail.
No, they think the human is why he can't teleport. Or why Abaddon couldn't teleport. Pronouns, pal. But yeah, we are in the clear to go get our last deal. 6 out of 7, right?
Can you do me a favor, Jerry? Can you never do that again?
Well, the next time someone tries to kidnap me, John, I will say no thank you.
That's all I ask.
All right, I'm going to go back to my corner and start trying to slow down time again.
God damn it.
Did he learn nothing?
No.
He thinks he's done us a favor.
Like, emotionally abused a bunch of, psychopaths and then somehow managed to come out looking like the asshole.
I bullied the bullies. What do you want?
You tortured the bullies.
Fuck them.
Want to know what I want, Jeron? I want this to be the end of this episode of Revival, a Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast.
What's Pat going on about?
You can find this show on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, on the website LMTYA.com, or let me tell you about .moe. Now would be a pretty good time to send in any questions to the show for Jeron's show to let me tell you about
Dear Jeron, YM asshole.
Exactly. Send that on in to let me tell you about, but with 3 T's at the end, at gmail.com, because otherwise it wouldn't fit. Twitter, I think I already mentioned that. There's Discord, there's Patreon. You can find Michael and Dan streaming on Twitch at bro_operatives. Matt has his own podcast with Kody called The Sweet Life of Matt and Kody, where they talk about the good old sports ball and adjacent things. And I think that will do it.
And again, and again, and again, and again.
See you on the next episode, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
And the next one.